Yo guys, what is going on? I hope you're having some good races this week. So today, it's a little different style type of video. We went over to Matt's house and I want to kind of go over his rig and maybe some of his impressions with sim racing, because Matt started out on a T300 and from that T300 he's kind of been upgrading. He took some time away from sim racing for a little bit, but he's gotten back into it now that he picked up a SimMagic. So I kind of want to get his idea of like his upgrade path for you guys and like what the best, in his opinion, type of upgrade style is. I also want to show you his new parts that he kind of picked up, and then on top of that, I kind of want to drive on the CSL or the Club Sport V3 pedals again, because I haven't driven on them in a while, and I think that'll be kind of fun. So let's go inside his house. Let's go ahead and introduce Matt, and then we'll go ahead and jump inside his rig right now. All right, guys, so welcome to Matt's new setup here. I just sat in this, what is this, an Energy Prisma seat?
Energy Prisma.
So it's an Energy Prisma seat, and the thing about this Energy Prisma seat is the back lumbar support is actually way better than my Track Racer, the bucket seat that I have. I forget which bucket seat I have, but the lumbar support is way better than the bucket seat that I have. The only thing that I don't like about it, this is the XL, right? Is the XL?
No, that's just the large.
This is just the large? Oh, okay. Did they make a bigger one than this? Oh, wow.
I think so.
So this is just a large. So the only difference that I feel from mine to his is the lumbar support is better on this, but the shoulders here are a little bit closer. And then the actual bucket piece right here that sits on your hips, it's a little bit closer as well. I got wide hips. So, what do you think? Because you think that my seat is more comfortable. You say?
Well, yours is nice just because it's a little wider and a little
Right,
bigger. That's
right.
the only thing I wish about this.
Right.
Because like for like a real car,
Yeah.
it's nice because it'll obviously hold you in place.
For when you're G-forcing, yeah, when you have the
But-
G-force coming on.
But for a sim, obviously we're not doing that. So
Not yet. No, we're not going to do that.
We're not doing that.
One thing I will say about the two different seats is that they come out around the same price. So if you guys are looking into it, personally, I like the color of this a lot more than the black of my Track Racer one. I'm thinking about ordering one of these now that I sat in it, but I'll have to do a stint in his seat to kind of see what's going on. But what are we doing today? Like, what are we doing right now?
I spent a lot of money.
He spent a lot of money. So Matt's original rig was a GT Omega.
No, it wasn't even. Well, sorry to the guy I sold it to, but it wasn't a real GT Omega. It was an Amazon knockoff.
So yeah, he basically had a GT Omega art that was from Amazon. But when he drove on it with this puppy right here, this T300 RS, it shook a lot. So Matt went ahead and upgraded to someone who was locally selling this is a Prime, right?
Yeah.
So a GT Omega Prime, which is basically the Track Racer, the same as the Track Racer that I have. And he actually upgraded to a SimMagic Alpha, right? So that is the 15 Newton meter.
Yeah.
15 Newton meters. So he upgraded to that, and then he got a new rig. So today he actually spent a little bit, some bread, and he got the Track Racer monitor mount. But not only did he get that, he got the triple monitor mount along with the Vario mounts for the monitors, correct? And then on top of that, he has triples coming here tomorrow. So tomorrow we'll probably be back to help him out with the triples and see how that goes. But he is rocking the V3s down below. He did do a custom job on them, as you can see. He put some.
I hated the what's it called? I hated the small pedal on this because I can't heel tilt.
Right.
So I just put the what's it called? I put the big pedal back on, and obviously I put some freaking just some skateboard grip tape on it.
So I will tell you, these pedals versus like the pedals that I've used before, Matt has the stiffest elastometer on it.
Yeah.
So Matt has the stiffest elastometer on it.
It's terrible.
And the pedal travel is non-existent.
It's terrible.
I don't know how you set the lap that you did on the Nürburgring.
Because I'm just that good. I'm just that good.
The pedal travel that he has there. I don't know how he trail brakes with it because it literally moves like this. I'll put in a clip right now of how long it moves. There's actually way more movement than it feels like.
Well, because like you what's it called? You press on it and it's got like a half inch of movement.
Right.
And then like the rest of it is just.
So yeah, so we're gonna put this thing together. This is kind of a before. We'll see how far we get into it, but we'll definitely be back to help him put on the monitors. But me and George have put this together before. George has put this together before. So So we'll kind of figure it out from there. But yeah, guys, the seat, that's a darn good seat. I think I might invest in an NR2 seat.
It's a very good seat.
It's a comfortable seat, dude, and like, I'm kind of mad that I didn't buy one. Cause like, you guys know, like, you say you're done with your rigs, you say you're done with this, done with that, and I feel like it's like a car. You're never done. You're always gonna buy more and more. So
also, if anyone wants a Ford mount plate, hit me up. I have an extra one for no reason at all. So if you want it, hit me up.
he also has a seat just lying around here since he had a reclining seat before this, right? Had a reclining seat and
who was it from? I wonder.
Yeah. Where do I get all of my stuff?
I don't know what he's talking about.
Until I decided to spend all of my money and get my own
Hey, later in this video, I do want to get Matt's impressions on his upgrade path, and kind of sit down with him and talk about, you know, why he did what he did, where he came from, this and that, because this guy...
Such a heartfelt story, absolutely.
No, it's just that
I came rags to riches, man, rags to riches.
This guy decided that he wasn't going to sim race anymore, and then after he decided he wasn't going to sim race, I told him, man, just upgrade your wheelbase. I promise you'll get back into it. And he was like, no, there's no way. And he came across a great deal. And now we're doing the events that we've all always wanted to do. We just did the 6 hours at Glen, and I will go ahead and I'm making another video just to talk about my first impressions of endurance racing and whatnot. Stuff that we learned, stuff that, you know, we need to control, such as George spinning out.
Damn.
Not only me. I'd like to put that out there.
I only spun out once, and it wasn't that bad. But anyways, so
you lost the bumper.
I don't remember losing the bumper.
Well, you definitely handed the car over
during my stint, the car drove fine. Okay, the car drove fine. But anyways, we're gonna get to building this. We'll take it in steps and stages, and then we'll get back to you guys in a second. So progress update here. We put on the 2 other arms for the triples, and then we also were able to get part of the quad monitor going as well. So we got the uprights here. We measured the center of it to put on the quad monitor, and then we just got to get the Vario mounts here, and then we have to wait like 12 hours for his triples to get in, and then we can finally go from there and put those on, and then he'll be all set.
Yeah.
That's it. So we're finishing up this quad monitor right now. We got to put the final brace on the top, and then should be all good to go. So one thing that I did want to point out on Matt's rig real quick is he did get these new mounts from Track Racer, and these mounts are actually pretty sick. So when me and George were putting together my rig, we had to adjust them manually with our hands and stuff. Now these are pretty pricey. What did you end up paying for them?
They're $150
for 3 of them. Yes. So if these are very beneficial, I feel like, because these knobs right here will adjust your tilt, and then these knobs over here will adjust the left and right, and then there's knobs in the back over here that will also adjust the front and back tilt on the actual mount itself. So I think he went well with these. I think they're really expensive, but as far as the stuff that me and George had to go through to adjust them on a Black Friday sale or something, I think they're definitely worth picking up just for the ease of use. But we will figure out if they are worth it tomorrow when we put these monitors on. All right, so we just got done with Matt's rig. How does it look so far? Like, what do you think about it?
I mean, obviously it's weird without any monitors, but like those come tomorrow, so that's okay.
So what I wanted to do was I wanted to sit down with Matt and kind of talk about his sim racing, not journey per se, but like his career, yeah, his upgrade path. Like what I wanted to go through is and just ask him a couple questions, like the big sim racing questions, like does money make you faster?
Yes.
Does buying things make you faster?
Yes.
So with that being said, like from you coming from like your T300, what was like did you appreciate what the T300 had to offer as a beginning wheel? Like what did you think about it, like when you were using it compared to what you're using now? Like what do you think about it?
No, I loved it. I mean, the freaking the T300 is great if you're just want to like get started to sim racing and everything like that. Right. It did everything I wanted. I was really big into drifting. I still am, right. And it was awesome for that. I played a lot of ACC with it. It was great for that too.
Matt was actually keeping up with us.
Oh yeah.
On ACC.
Oh yeah, I was setting
with
down
the T300.
I was setting down some pretty competitive lap times. And you know, and this is the thing. Like a lot of people think that you need this in order to be fast.
Right.
And I know I joked about that earlier, but like, you really don't. I had a freaking $150 Amazon rig with the T300 and the Thrustmaster pedals without the damper mod on them.
Right.
And so just position based freaking pedals, and it was great.
So you would say, with that being said, like the T300 as like a starter wheel, as like you know, it's cheap. You know, on the used market, you could pick one up for nothing. You think that like it's a perfect starting point?
Oh yeah, dude. Like if you can find yourself a freaking T300 on Marketplace or something like that for a good enough deal,
He still has it.
yeah, I'm not getting rid of it. But if you can find something like that, or even like a G920 or something like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, what's it called? I think we all can relate to this though. Like that thing was clamped to my desk in a rolling chair.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Hiding in the closet when I wasn't using it. You know what I mean? So. I mean, just go have fun, dude. I mean, like, but honestly, like, you don't. This is unnecessary.
Yeah, you don't need.
This is unnecessary. Does it add to the overall immersion and experience? Absolutely. And that's at this point.
That's what I'm
chasing.
Right. So with that being said, Matt actually took a hiatus from sim racing for a little bit because. Well, do you want to dive into it?
Yeah. Well, so I was at the limit of what my, you know, stock pedals and my rig was shaking, and I freaking had a monitor bolted to my wall. You know what I mean?
As David says, his rig was going.
Yeah, like my stuff was pretty bad. It was pretty bad.
Right.
And like I said, I still had fun with it, and I was still putting down some semi-competitive time. But it was just I looked at what then you had built with the triples and everything.
You guys know my problem. You guys know my sim racing problem.
It just seemed like such a mountain to climb and so much money, and it was a lot.
It was a lot of money, yeah.
But like, I'm glad that I'm back.
So with that being said, what does the sim magic, like upgrading from a belt-driven wheel from your T300, do you think that gap in money to go to that DD wheel, like you have 15 Newton meters now versus I think the 3 that this thing put out, 4 that this thing put out. Do you think that not only yes you're a better driver because of it, but from that hiatus that you took, do you think that now that you're back and you enjoy all of this again, do you think that it brings that money value towards you? You're like, wow, this is worthwhile.
I mean, yeah, obviously going from a freaking T300 to a DD anything, you know what I mean, is a game changer, you know what I mean? And the great thing nowadays is that you have like things like the Moza R3 and, you know, very plug and play, entry level, cheap as all hell. Entry kits like that, and I think that's awesome.
I agree.
I think everyone should experience a DD.
I absolutely agree.
But
DD is so cheap to enter now.
Yeah,
to where it's like,
I mean, shit. You remember like 2 years ago when the cheapest thing on the market was like.
Yep.
I mean, if you were looking at a DD, you were easily spending $600, $700.
Well, that's why. Unfortunately, with the Fanatec stuff, guys, the way that they're doing their company, hopefully Corsair brings them out of the dirt. However, I always credit Fanatec or Fanatec, however you say it. I always credit them because they brought direct drive, I feel like, to the normal person.
Oh yeah, and then that led to people like Moza. You know what I mean?
Like the competition.
Yeah. Like that.
Exactly.
When Moza first came around and started throwing punches at Fanatec, it was sick.
And people were like, "Do I get a Moza or do I get a Fanatec?
Yeah.
Which one do I get now?" And Matt actually for a while, well, not a while, I think it was like a week, he drove on a GTDD before he picked this up.
Yeah.
So, give us your experience on that. Like, what was that like compared to something like this?
Dude, if you're in a position like I was with a T300 or a Logitech whatever, and you find a GTDD with or without the boost kit, and you're thinking to yourself, oh, maybe I should just go buy it, dude. It's like, it's such a step higher, and it just feels so much better. Like, if you're feeling kind of about the whole
sim racing
the whole
thing.
thing.
Yeah,
It'll really bring you back to life.
I think that I totally agree with you to where it's like you don't go out and you don't buy a SimiCube 2 Pro.
No,
Or you don't
definitely
buy,
not.
right
I
off the bat,
like this guy. This guy's freaking crazy.
I've had like 9 wheelbases, but
Yeah.
you don't go out and you don't buy a SimiCube 2 Pro right off the bat if you're testing the waters of sim racing, right?
Personally, I don't think
But-
you need to.
But
whatever.
but you go get like an R5, an R9, you know, something like that, entry level, $400 or $500, and then you're set for the rest of the time. Now,
just have fun.
yeah, at the end of the day,
fun.
have fun.
Because dude, this thing turned all the way up is too much.
It's too much.
It's
Right.
too much,
Right.
and like this thing's only a 15 newton meter
Right.
peak base. You know what I mean? And like, I gotta work out.
But the other thing is you have an ecosystem too.
Oh yeah,
And you have the greatest QR system. In my opinion, you have the greatest QR system that's
well,
on the
and
market.
what I'm happy about is that more brands are adopting this quick release
Yep.
because like
Yep.
And like look, I like I said, I still do drifting and stuff like that, so like my real car's steering wheel fits on this thing, you know what I mean? Like it's just cool. It's cool.
We were joking the other day when I got my GSI wheel initially, and we were like, let's go put the GSI wheel on your Volkswagen.
Yeah.
And we were like, we'll send it to GSI and be like, hey guys, look what we did.
They'll totally do that.
We should. But, okay, so with that being said, the last question I kind of have to ask is like, how do you feel about all this? Now, you haven't driven on the triples or anything like that yet.
Well, I've
you're
driven
not-
on yours.
You've driven on mine. So, well, monetary value-wise, like we said earlier, you don't need to spend this much money to get
Absolutely not.
fun out of it, correct? I mean, we did 6 hours of Watkins Glen, and you were on a single monitor.
I was on a single 27.
You were on a single 27, and we had a blast, right?
Yeah.
We had fun.
And the thing that I'm looking forward to the most is, so there was an incident during the 6 hours of Glen where I was coming into a turn
Yeah.
and I knew someone was on the charge on the inside. But as soon as he left my rear view, I had no idea where he was.
Yep.
I had no idea where he was, and because of that, I went so wide and sacrificed so much of my time that I could have kept position, but I conceded because I had no idea where he was and I didn't want to cause an accident.
And some of
That-
you might be asking to me or Matt, why don't you just go VR then?
It
Well,
makes me
the
sick.
thing with VR is, for me, it's not for everyone. And I've had a VR headset before. I've had the Quest 2, and Matt has actually used the Quest 2 as well, from one of his friends that had one. And we just can't do long stints with it.
It's not even long stints, dude. Like I can be in VR and everything like that, and it's great and it's fun. But like, especially for drift guys and stuff like that, like I can't because I'll throw the car in and my body, especially when you're like really at angle, my body is just so confused. And as soon as I take the headset,
Yeah.
It's game over.
So my problem is I think about it. I'm like, wow, I'm going really fast in this car.
Yeah.
And the minute I see a marker, like let's say a tree or someone standing on the side, my brain goes, okay, my brain is moving, but my body isn't.
Yeah.
And that's when I start to get that sick feeling.
And especially when you like the V3 is obviously not that strong,
Right,
but
right.
like the vibrations in your feet and the feeling in your hands,
absolutely.
and everything like that, and the shifter and everything like that. Like there's so much sense, but your brain is just missing that like one thing of actual G-force,
Right.
And it throws me off.
So everybody always asks, does money make you faster? And to an extent, I feel like the answer is yes. However, it's not you being faster out of the gate. I feel like it's you developing more consistency with tiny little better gear here.
Well, because look, I'll put it to you guys this way. I've been grinding the Nordschleife recently. I've been living at that track recently.
Yep.
And you know, with my well, I guess now previous setup, I put down a 808 on the VLN track, which is a pretty like competitive.
It's a pretty good.
It's a pretty competitive time, but freaking but what's it called? I know that there is more time on the table, and I go over to his house with the active pedal and all this crazy stuff, and money doesn't make you faster, but the inputs that your body receives, that makes you faster.
So with that being said,
No,
go ahead.
I went an 805 on his setup, which I didn't even think was possible for me to do, but I did. It was because I had the stronger ABS feedback in my feet. I had the freaking I don't really think that the wheelbase and anything like that.
No.
has anything to do with that.
I think if you close your eyes and the same Newton meters, you wouldn't be able to tell. The
Yeah,
difference.
but the pedal 100% and the stronger feedback that I got from that made me faster.
For sure. No, so with that being said, I guess the overall arching thing here would be, you know, and this is how I prefer to tell people who want to get into sim racing. You learn your basics through that secondhand wheel, through the T300,
100%.
the G9. You develop those skills, and once those skills are developed and you have the good habits, once you move to something like this, it's like your skills are multiplied because now those skills that you develop, you can actually use on something as grand as this.
Well, and I think of it like this too, right? So these V3s I've had for a long, long time, and I think of it like if you use a tool, use it for all that it's worth.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
Like,
Yeah.
extract everything that you can learn out of it,
and
and then once you need a pedal set that just needs a little more travel or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, expand on the knowledge that you learned from your previous gear. And as long as you do that, dude, it's all sick, but it's pretty sick.
So I guess the last question that I have would be, what are your potential upgrades that you're thinking about doing in the future? Because we like to say that we're done, but we're kind of never. Even with me, I've found that now that I'm done with the big things, I'm now buying the little things, like a cup holder or a stream deck or like the small things, right?
Yeah, so next for me, the big thing is going to be pedals because, like I was just talking about, I'm kind of at the limit of, and I know with a better set of pedals that I can go faster. I've learned consistency on these things. So anyway, P1000s are next. That's 100% happening next. I want to get a new handbrake, and that's really it for things that I can touch. And then I want to get like creature comfort things, like a stream deck. That would be nice, and a button box.
Yeah, absolutely.
And maybe some lighting and stuff like that. But that's kind of trivial. But
absolutely, hell yeah. Well, other than that, I think that's all the questions I have. Guys, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to support, drop a like, subscribe. We got some crazy races coming up next week. Is the 3 hours?
3 hours.
3 hours of Daytona. We're doing it next week as a team, so I'll be streaming that live on the channel. And then we got some more sim racing reviews and then some races to do. So, and then we got Nürburgring coming up next month.
I know.
It's actually coming up in, wait, 3 weeks?
Less than that.
I think it's less than 3 weeks, so we got to get on that. But make sure you guys subscribe, like the video. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.